This is big. The Jake Paul Askren fight.
Oh, I know the fight was big. Everything else sucked.
Oh, no. The Triller event was horrible.
That's my point.
Was absolutely horrible. We can get into why it's horrible later. Or we could just talk about it now. It's too much music. And the fights were boring before the Jake Paul one, and then too much music. Like, I don't care about watching Saweetie lip sync, okay?
It was so
I don't care
trash.
about Doja Cat. I don't care about any of these things. Fight fans are not Doja Cat fans. They're not Saweetie fans. Justin Bieber's performance I thought was good. I could do one song. Do one song. Shouts to C's. Where's Daniel Caesar?
Yeah,
Bring out Daniel Caesar.
Yeah,
okay,
dog, where's
Justin,
he at?
Daniel, play the fucking peaches and then get to the fights. All we need are the fights. We don't care about the music component at all.
I'm gonna give you one bit of pushback. I hated it. I'm also not a fight fan, but this wasn't marketed to fight fans.
That's a good point.
This is marketed to young people who would be interested in Jake Paul fighting.
They fucked up.
My issue is the performances weren't good. Like Sweetie wasn't. What are you doing?
They can't be good. Like even Super Bowl performances, you're like, man, it was all right. And that is the biggest performance ever. Yeah. You're watching a music video live, and music videos at home are okay. Yeah. Live, you're like, what the fuck are we doing?
Empty stadium.
Empty stadium was weird.
If you were in the room for a concert, I could see that as potentially being good. But you're not. You're watching at home. So one song is kind of fun. Bake it into the intro in some way. Figure out something. But it was just too long. Like, it's 1 o'clock by the time the fucking fight comes.
Yeah.
So, bad job. But I think Triller will be able to adjust. And they'll go, okay, people could not give a flying fuck about this much music. Maybe we'll have a couple music acts. Because I'm looking at this like you wasted money. You had to pay all these people. You don't need to pay them. You don't need Charlie D'Amelio and Dixie D'Amelio giving people fake belts. Not necessary.
Yeah.
What people are invested in when it comes to a fight is literally the outcome of that fight. Yeah. That's all they do. They don't need the theatrics around it. They need none of that. When we watch a street fight, you know who did this brilliantly? Barstool. When they did Rough and Rowdy, they knew that they weren't going to have famous people fight each other, but what they could do is create rivalries. Mm-hmm. So they had the city kid versus the country bumpkin.
Right.
The gay dude versus the straight dude.
Yeah.
Right? The this frat versus this frat. A firefighter versus a policeman. They found built-in rivalries that already existed, and now we're emotionally connected to the outcome of that fight. Right. I want to see who wins, the older brother or the younger brother. They had an older brother, younger brother fight each other once. I just watched it on YouTube. I'm like, why am I watching this?
Yeah.
I want to see if that younger brother can get him.
Yeah.
Right? And it was brilliant because they understood the emotional driving point of a fight. Mm-hmm. Jake Paul also understands that.
Yeah.
And that's why we tuned into that fight.
Yeah.
And Ben Askren also understands.
Yes.
And that's why we tuned into that fight.
Yeah.
And I fucking love Ben, and I want to talk about Ben afterwards. And but I first want to give Jake some flowers.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about the knockout just yet. Jake Paul is the biggest fight in boxing right now. Bigger than Canelo.
Yeah.
Bigger than Tyson Fury. Bigger than Anthony Joshua. He is right now the biggest fight in boxing. I know you guys think I'm absolutely fucking retarded when I say this.
Yes.
I'm not joking. 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. 1.5 million
Yeah,
pay-per-view
I don't think
buys.
you're crazy. I just need to hear numbers.
1.5 million pay-per-view buys. We can look at other past pay-per-views, but here's the thing you got to consider. This one got 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. Now that he knocked Askren out in the first round, people who don't like Jake Paul have just increased exponentially. And Jake knows that. And the MMA community that's infuriated with Jake Paul has increased exponentially. Literally every fighter, after their fight, Robert Whittaker said, I'd fight Jake Paul for less than $500,000. Why are you mentioning that fight? Why are you even bringing it up? You just won a fight on the same night. He is under everybody's skin. And what do I always say on this podcast? Haters and celebrators pay the same price of admission. And this guy is going to take people hating on him and ride that shit to the fucking top. Now, I keep hearing people say this all the fucking time. They go, why isn't he fighting a real boxer? Why isn't he fighting a real boxer?
Why would he?
Why would he?
Why does he have to?
He's not trying to win the belt.
He doesn't want to be the greatest boxer
money.
of all time. Yeah.
Yes. Money. Yeah. And you cannot show me a boxer that wouldn't like to make millions of dollars in their first 3 fights. You think that these boxers want to fight 20 times before they fight for a title and maybe touch $1 million?
Yeah.
Fuck no. Give me the money immediately. If you're smart enough to not care about the fucking belt, which if you don't care about the sport, who gives a fuck about the belt?
Yeah, right.
If there was no money in boxing, Jake Paul's not going to be a boxer.
Right.
Like, he knows it. But that motherfucker Say what you want about. I don't care if you like his personality or don't like his personality. Remove personality from all this.
Right.
Just look at straight business. The guy knows how to get under people's skin, get them invested, and get them wanting to beat his ass.
He's really smart.
The kid is fucking smart, dude.
He's really smart.
He understands business.
He might not communicate it well, but he knows what he's doing.
Bro, he knows he knows how to get people to fucking hate him. And in an attention economy, hate is the easiest form of attention.
Yeah.
We are so much quicker to hate things than we are love.
Yes.
How hard is it for us to give something up?
Being hated takes less talent, but it takes one supreme talent, and that is you have to be willing to be hated.
Superpower.
Which most of us are not.
Superpower.
Yeah.
Again, I don't care if you're listening right now, you're like, I fucking hate that kid, Jake Paul. I don't care.
Yeah.
He's going to make tens of millions of dollars doing this boxing thing because you hate him.
He probably already made tens of millions.
And just for numbers' sake, you said 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. If that's a true number, that would make it the 12th highest pay-per-view box office ever. And that's comparing to the Floyd Mayweather fights. This is more than Tyson fights. Like, this is number 12 in, like, with the GOATs.
Yeah. So this is the biggest name in boxing right now, whether you like it or not. And he's not even fighting the elite boxing guys.
If him and Conor square off,
Go.
I mean, that could be the number one fight.
So listen,
pay-per-view
if Conor beats Dustin Poirier, if Conor beats Dustin and doesn't fight Jake, he is wasting money.
Yeah.
He's literally taking money, lighting it on fire. Because that is the biggest money fight he can get.
Yeah.
Whether Conor likes it or not, the biggest money fight he can get is against Jake Paul.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable what this kid has fucking done.
Yeah.
You might hate him. And have a reason to. He's already back starting beef. He's already tweeting. I think they released some footage of Mike Perry and him sparring. Mike Perry, Platinum Mike Perry's a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
And he went in to give some work to Jake. And then Jake, I guess, tweeted something or said something about how, like, Mike Perry admitted that I kicked his ass or whatever. Now Mike Perry's all upset. Yeah. Mike Perry's trying to get into it.
Are they upset or are they excited that he's throwing them in there and now they want to see if they can get their shot?
Maybe.
Either way.
Because it's a win for Mike Perry to get to fight Jake Paul.
Exactly.
Even if he loses.
And and I don't know if his team is doing this. I don't know if his doing. I always give credit to the person who's takes the responsibility. But like, maybe it's all them. But what you do is you let them all compete.
Yeah.
Who can stir up the most shit?
Yeah.
And whoever stirs up the most shit, this is what the UFC does very well, right? They have rankings. But if you stir up a lot of shit, you get some fights.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland was stirring up shit. Kevin got some fights. Now, he lost them, but he was stirring it up and he gets rewarded. Mm-hmm. So what you do is you throw names out there. You throw a Nate Diaz out there. You throw a Platinum Mike Perry out there. You throw Tyson Fury's little brother. I forget his name. He's got another Fury. You throw his name out there. You throw 5, 6, 7 guys out there. Conor, of course. And you see who gets the most gravity.
You see what the market dictates.
And not only the market, you see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Right? If the market doesn't want it, but you create the market.
Yeah, fair enough.
All of a sudden, now we're cooking.
Right.
Like when Logan and Mayweather were going to fight, the market wasn't that interested. So they pulled it back and they're like, okay, we need to generate some interest.
Yeah.
This motherfucker Jake has generated interest.
Yeah, because he's willing, and that's what he has that Logan is great, but what he has that Logan doesn't have is Jake is willing to be hated and doesn't give a fuck.
Logan is Captain America.
Yeah, dude.
Logan is Captain America, and he wants people to like him, and I get that because he's likable.
Yeah.
And he plays a good guy.
He seems like he made one huge mistake, and other than that, he seems like a pretty good kid.
Yeah. And I actually don't mind having the brothers be one good guy, one heel.
That's how it should be.
It might be the way to do it.
Because if you're Jake, you are in your big brother's shadow your entire life. You're just not him. What's the only way to be different is he's the heel. If he's Captain America, let me go all the way heel.
Especially if you're looking at Logan, you're like, he's really good at being likable. He's really good at being likable. And you're like, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
But I can be different. I can be weird. I can be antagonistic. I can't troll.
Right.
And the motherfucker found a way within his third fight to make millions of dollars. Yeah. You show me another boxer that's able to do this. You cannot. Regardless if you like it or not, he is the biggest name in boxing in terms of money.
Yeah.
And you know who made belts worthless? The fucking sanctioning bodies that threw out 1 million different belts for every single weight. You made the belts worthless. Don't be upset at Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Be upset at yourselves. You took away all the value. When you kept handing it out, it was like a fiat currency.
Yeah.
We don't care about no fiat currency over
Hogs
here.
get slaughtered. You got to try to grab cash everywhere. This belt, that belt, that. But son, Isaac, as a guy who casually watches, I have no clue what any belt means.
Yeah.
I barely know the weight classes, and I know why those have to exist. But like multiple belts for a weight class, I'm out. I don't give a fuck. I'm out.
So regardless if you think that he can box or not, you cannot deny he has power.
Yes.
Ben Askren has been hit incredibly hard by people who hit incredibly hard.
Yes.
And Jake Paul hit him, and he was concussed while he was standing.
He was concussed?
He went down. I assume it's concussion, right? Anytime lights go out, right? So, and don't get me wrong, Askren's a tough motherfucker, got back up and said he was ready to go. The referee stopped it. I'm not mad at that stop. But the point is, he hit him with one shot and put him down. TKO is multiple shots eventually, like, I can't take any more. One shot lights out power is a natural thing. Sometimes people have it, sometimes they don't have it. There are professional boxers that we all love that don't have one shot knockout power.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. And they've been phenomenal fighters. And there are guys that we might have never heard of that have incredible one-punch concussive power.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Jake. He has power.
Right.
Lights out. Go.
Now, you're not mad at the early stoppage?
No.
Why?
Because this isn't
explain to that,
a
'cause
real fight. Now, you could be mad as a consumer because you want blood, but in my mind, I think that he got hurt enough. He was out on his feet. The way that his body fell, it looked like he was out on his feet. Now, Askren's tough as fucking nails. He's going to get up. I don't think you need to put him through that when, like, this is not his future, this is not his career. A short stoppage really affects a fighter who wants to keep fighting in their career because you stole a win from him. Mm-hmm. Askren did this for money.
Right.
The guy was fucking brilliant in the lead up to this. Like, not only was he generating all this interest in the fight, the guy was doing so many promos.
Yeah.
Like, I bet he maybe made just as much fighting as he did in promos. A few minutes before the fight, he posted a video of him hitting this punching machine in his own locker room.
Yeah.
Cash the check. So, like, you for me, if I'm a ref in that situation, I'm going, this guy is doing this for fun and for a huge payday. It's not worth him getting knocked down again and really doing damage, because that's when the damage happens.
Yeah.
So I'm not upset at that. I don't think people are like, oh, this was rigged. Look at the punch connect. It's not rigged.
You know what? And I don't know. You can tell me if the form was off or not. But before he landed a punch, he threw another overhand right that barely missed. And that one, I was like, he almost knocked him the fuck out right there.
Same combo.
And then got him 10 seconds later, I guess, same combo. But I was like, oh, this kid has power. When I saw that punch miss, I was like, fuck.
Say what you want about Jake. He made an adjustment in the ring. This is in the first round of the fight. Askren lands the first punch of the fight.
Yeah.
Jake kind of rushes in. Askren dips and then hits him with an overhand right. Mm-hmm. I don't think there was much on it, but Jake gets caught. He's a little bit cautious. And as Askren starts to plod forward, he made an adjustment, which was really fucking impressive. He started throwing this hook as Askren came in.
Mm-hmm.
So Askren comes in. He's got his hands kind of in front of him a little bit more.
Yeah.
So Jake would throw this hook as he came in, and he caught him a few times. And that stopped Askren from coming in as bravely, for lack of a better word, because he knew that there was a cost for coming in. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, to make an adjustment in real time like that, I've logged a lot of hours sparring, okay? And when you're in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking, okay, what can I do different? Like, sometimes between rounds, you're like, I was getting caught with that. How do I avoid that shit a little bit like that? And as you do more, you maybe get a little more comfortable making those adjustments. It was impressive. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying the guy should go challenge for the fucking cruiserweight belt right now.
Yeah.
But 3 years in, it's impressive. And the last thing he should do is fight some boxer that's really good that has no fucking clout. He should go after MMA guys, and he should stay in that world and people who are famous. Stay in that world, cash the fucking checks.
Yeah.
If he had 1.5 million buys on this one, to get from number 12 to number 3, which is Khabib Conor, you need one more million views. And you're talking someone like Conor, an international audience.
Can I tell you something?
You're so close to being number one. The other ones.
Let me tell you something. If Jake Paul fights Conor McGregor, you're going to think I'm crazy when I say this. It's the biggest fight in history.
Bigger than Floyd and Conor.
The two biggest are, the number one is 4.6 million, Pacquiao Mayweather. Second biggest is Mayweather McGregor, 4.3 million.
Sorry, I'll push back.
Then it goes down to 2.5 million, which was Khabib McGregor.
Let me take this back. I take it back. I apologize. I don't think they hit Mayweather Pacquiao, and I don't think they hit Mayweather McGregor. I think they can beat the 2.5.
Agreed.
Because you're adding Conor's star power to it.
Mhm.
I mean, like, and Conor's got to win this fight against Poirier to make that happen. But if he wins that fight against Poirier, he's going in there. He could go in there with Jake, and they could do 2.5 easy. Easy.
If Conor loses, what happens?
He loses a lot of money. He loses a lot of money.
But we were calling sports bars this weekend. They wouldn't even pay for the pay-per-view. Like, this was really driven, I think, by the attention of like Jake Paul, his audience, a younger market, Triller fans. You bring in, these bars buying
I
these
disagree.
licenses for the.
I don't think it was Triller fans. I literally think it was fight fans wanting to see Jake Paul get knocked out.